Oilers and Panthers. We're going to talk some props and some parlays. Welcome to Props and Parlays Today. I am Andy from wagertalk.com. Let us take a look at what we have props wise for today's game here. As you guys know, I like to look at the box score from the last game, and there's these games have been so weird. It's really hard to take away a lot. What do we take away from an 8-1 game in the Stanley Cup Finals? I mean, this is almost a mirror image of what happened in NBA, where the team that's up just completely throws in the towel. Bobrovsky, only makes 16 saves, so that under was an easy cash. Both teams shot over 30 times, so you had a lot of shots on goal props go over. So not really sure. It's tough to find a lot of trends in this one, but we'll certainly do that. So we'll start with our good friend Vladimir Tarasenko. I think we're priced out of this at minus 175. This run was fantastic, great for the bankroll, so I'm happy with that. And once the price moves out of range, we just take our profits and move on. So thank you, Vladimir Tarasenko. You were very, very good to us, especially on $5 Friday when a bunch of people buy the play. There's pressure. For me, there's pressure on those plays. So he comes through. Ekholm, I will say, Ekholm could be the next Tarasenko. It's minus 154, not quite out of range. And he's hit 4 games in a row. I love that he's got a couple games with 3 in there. So books haven't moved up to 1.5. By the way, I'm stunned the books still haven't moved Tarasenko up to 2.5. Normally they make that move. So Evan Rodriguez, again, we're priced out. He's been pretty consistent with the shots on goal, but we'll probably stay away from him. And on the flip side, the Zach Hyman, this one keeps going under as well. Easy under in the last game. So this has been on the flip side, really, really good trend in the series. And we probably should have seen it coming. I mean, Florida just does such a good job at limiting guys to find the best, or limiting guys to shots, especially the high guys, the guys who score the most points. And sure enough, Hyman's gone under in every single game in this series. So that's been a good underplay. I think that's about it for shots on goal. Let's take a look at the points. Listen, your guess is as good as mine on the points. I can't find a whole lot here. Tarasenko, our guy, he has 3 games in a row. I'm not willing to play it just because it's kind of out of character for him. He doesn't have these huge long extended streaks. So and the books are all over it, minus 180. Even Connor McDavid, who we talked about playing under. We hit him the first couple games of the series, and he's come right back on the over. So we could look at the assists here. I was looking at our guy Sam Reinhart, who we had talked about. He's, if you would have taken his over starting in the series, you'd be good to go. We talked about him to not have an assist last game, but he does there. But again, I'm not seeing a whole lot of meat on the bone on these points props. So it probably is just a little bit of a stay away. We see Anton Lundell has gone over 3 games in a row. So if you are riding streaks, you're riding these guys. But I find this pretty tough. I find these props today very tough. Gustav Forsling, the over machine. Now he's just come crashing back to earth. He's not even cashing over 1.5 shots on goal. So unfortunately, I just don't really see a ton, which is fine. We don't need to play anything. I didn't put out official plays last night for the NBA Finals game. I did videos. I talked about Derek Lively going over, and he did not even come close to going over. Avoided. What do we always say? The best way to make money is to not lose it. And so we didn't have any official play, so we didn't lose any money on the game last night. And tonight's game could be similar, where maybe it is just as simple as staying away. But if I'm looking at a prop, I think this Ekholm to go over 1.5 is probably the way to go, just because it's 20 cents less juice. If you want to look at the saves, yeah, Bobrovsky's 25.5. Again, when he goes over, he goes way over. When he goes under, he goes way under. And Skinner finally went over his in the last one. So if I'm actually kind of leaning Bobrovsky under his shots on goal. I think probably you're going to see. Well, first off, you're probably going to see him play the whole game, but I think Florida gets back to its defensive ways, kind of clogging up McDavid and them, and I don't think the game gets away from him. So, yeah, that is kind of what we've got going on in the in NHL. And if we are looking at our girl Caitlin Clark, so what I'm seeing with Caitlin Clark is we talked about her unders, and you just have to commit to playing her every single game, because she'll have two that go under and then one, and then she'll have a huge game, and then go under two more times, and when she goes over, she absolutely flies over. Now I will say, the last two times that she went over against Chicago and Washington, they're not very good teams defensively. So I think we do have a little bit of a trend there where you probably stay away from her when she's you stay away from her when she's playing a bad team, unless you want to try and predict the overs. But if we want to look at her points, rebounds, and assists for the season, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, she's gone over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this play would be profitable. So on the flip side, though, if we're really being honest with this, I even though it's 6-9, on the losses that you would take, you're losing a little bit of juice, and so you got to ask yourself with a play like that: is it totally worth it? Is it worth tying up the bankroll? Is it worth trying to play Caitlin Clark every single time? I mean, yeah, you're up, but how much are you actually up? So that's up for you to decide. You guys know me; I love trying to find these streaks and ride them out for a while. Clark, I think, is just an under player if you're going to play it, but I would recommend playing it like several games in a row. The other interesting thing that we see with Clark is she's only done it back-to-back games once this season, so it might be a good move to wait for her to go over once and then come right back, especially if she's got like a back-to-back or one game rest type of situation. So I think she wears down as the season goes on, is my opinion. I think she's already kind of getting some wear and tear. So we'll start talking a lot more WNBA props as the summer goes on. So we can take a look at maybe some parlay pieces. I don't know what to make of the Euros. Kind of had some weird results yesterday, so I still think Germany, the home team, is probably a good way to go. But again, with these parlay pieces, we don't need a ton of them. We just need a few of them, and I know we've got some pretty good parlay pieces in tennis. If you're feeling that, I think most of those have started at the time we're recording this. So when you guys are watching it, probably some of these have started. So we can look at the other one. Yeah, like Struff. You could look at Tsitsipas. That might be a decent little parlay piece. Medvedev is kind of getting there with -700, so it's quite a bit juicy. So, well, today's Tuesday, so Nick and I will be recording the tea time. So we can take a look at a couple golf props here real quick and some parlay pieces. But if you guys could hit the like button, leave a comment below, and don't forget, grab that 5% PFL play that is up. You're going to get all of our PFL and UFC plays for this week. We are number one the last 11 weeks, and this PFL card should be no different. We swept the board last week in PFL, and so we thought, got to make this week a 5% play. We got such a good read on it. So one play is in that pack right now. There will be a couple more added just for the PFL card that is on Friday. So we're also going to take a look at Bellator and see if there's any decent parlay pieces. I know Jason Jackson fights. He's been just a fantastic parlay piece as well. So but yeah, like button, really, really appreciate it. Really means a lot to me. And yeah, if you guys could make sure you lock in that, yeah, there I am. There's the PFL UFC 5% max bet. You just go to wagertalk.com, click on that. There's, I know there's baseball. People love betting on baseball. I I can talk it. I just don't find it long term to be worth it. But I do find these PFL cards to be absolutely 100% worth it. We've got a Formula One race this week, which is absolutely going to be worth it. We've got some golf props that are absolutely worth it. So I find the value in these, and I think our track record speaks for that. So couple of different parlay pieces. Listen, I think Scotty Scheffler is going to be fine. He had a bad U.S. Open. He just could not putt. His tee to green was okay. This course is going to be easy for him. He's going to hit a lot of fairways, and he's going to have some short wedges. I think this minus 250 for top 10 is worth it. However, if you are worried about his putting from last week, you must stay off him. I get it. I get it. I'm really surprised at Morikawa minus 225 is a pretty good price on top 20. You know, we lost Rory, so that would probably have been another top 20 guy. This is a short field, not too many guys in the field this week, so keep that in mind. I do like Abear at minus 200. The knee does not look like it's bothering him. He kind of fell apart down the stretch. I don't want to say fell apart, but he definitely faded back down the stretch, but still 12th at the U.S. Open, so minus 200 on a top 20 could absolutely be worth a parlay piece, and a lot of these other guys I will absolutely pass on. So I think that's it for today, guys. Pretty quick show. Just reminder: make sure you protect your bankroll. Just don't get crazy with some of these sports that you haven't been used to betting. If you haven't been following baseball all season, don't just jump in and start firing away a bunch of plays. WNBA, same way. We'll talk WNBA, but it'll take a lot for us to get to the window with a play. We'll just keep sticking to what we know. It's our cross-sport parlays. It's our PFL, UFC. It's our golf. It's our Formula One. So all those plays can be found at wagertalk.com. All right, that is going to do it for us. Thanks very much for joining. And don't forget, Tea Time will be up later today. We'll break down the Travers Championship. That's myself and Nick Borman. And then I'll be back tomorrow with another episode of Props and Parlays Today. Bye.